After dark. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Hump Day. It's Wednesday. It's Midnight's Edge After Dark. On today's show, as if it weren't bad enough that we actually got HBO's Watchmen, we're getting a Rorschach series. More on that later. John Hamm as Fletch. Star Trek. Fletch, yes.
Okay.
Star Trek is sexist again. And the Uncharted movie looks like it's finally happening. I am Rob Rogbot Shlomo, your narrator supreme, coming to you from Shabby Road Studios, and with me as always, Mr. Tom Connors.
Hello.
Yes, joining us as always is the resident physician, the whitest man in show business, the script doctor.
How's it going, Skipper?
Fantastic. We have chiming in from the Crow's Nest, Mr. Jesse Miller.
How y'all doing this evening?
And of course, where would we be without our favorite YouTube heartbeat? She's an Emmy, an ESPY, a Tony, a Bambi, a BAFTA. She's an Earl and an OBE.
Which one I needed? Or which one I got?
Blacker, Miss Mecca Random. And we have joining us the boss man himself, Andre.
Greetings, everyone. Thanks for having me.
It's your show. Come on. Why do we have to thank us? We should be thanking you.
He's just trying to be courteous.
Okay.
It's called class.
Just trying to leave more like some show anyway. So yeah. But anyway, thanks for having me. No matter who has the ownership of what.
Yeah, he thinks I can run shit, but this is really
PC load letter. What the fuck does that mean?
I was about to say it's a matter of class. What am I doing here?
I don't know. The same with me. I bring down the value of everyone around me.
All right. Well, let's jump into it. What do we got on deck, Tom?
Well, since Andre's here, let's talk a little Star Trek. Gizmodo's trying to tell us how sexist we all are and how Star Trek is and how everything's wrong with everything.
As usual.
Well, then we don't have to watch it ever again. Fuck new Star Trek then.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. See you later. Good night.
Have a good one.
Oh, God.
Well, they got these stupid pictures where, Kitty, I don't know what you need, but you're really irritating me today.
So sexist. We had actual strong female characters in the past and don't anymore. You know, that's all I really need to say is that they've replaced all of our strong individual female characters with these cookie cutter cardboard, nothing perfect Mary Sues who are miserable, pathetic pieces of crap who fail at everything and get the world handed to them for it.
I think it could really take Crusher and just use her to win this entire argument.
Well, yeah, why is Soji there? She's not a member of Starfleet.
No, and she's crap. And she's an android that tried to commit genocide against everybody in the freaking galaxy.
Yeah, she's not a living being.
But that's okay. She got her little participation trophy for it at the end of the day.
Well, let's hurry up and let Rob read a little bit of this article so we can make fun of it while Andre is still here.
Yeah. In the fourth episode of Star Trek Picard, Star TP, a familiar face storms onto the scene with plenty of legacy characters. This might be in just another day in the space office, but this is 7 of 9, beloved, iconic, and even more badass than she was during her time of origin on Voyager. And she was always pretty badass. She's a freaking murderer now. You owe me a ship, Picard, she quips after saving the crew in a space battle, and the episode cuts to black. Over 20 years after USS Voyager returned to the Alpha Quadrant, in Picard, Seven is now a hardened vigilante, which is not becoming a character, my insertion, chucking back whiskey and cursing under her breath, and she has an outfit to match, strutting around in the licensed badass combination of combat boots, jeans, a loose shirt, and, of course, a leather jacket. Gone, finally, is the skin-tight catsuit that Seven donned on Voyager, a clear invitation to see Seven as a person first and a woman second, standing in stark contrast to that rib-crushing corset. what if she thought she was hot when she wore it? I mean, you ever think of that?
I had to look up her name, but what about Janice Rand? Because I always remember her from TOS, and she's not in this picture.
Well, anyway, with Picard's 7 of 9 upending her late 90s incarnation, we're forced to confront the stumbles of Star Trek's past. In 2020, what can we learn from looking back at Trek? And with all the strides it made for female representation, can we really call it sexist? No, but I'm sure you will. A new frontier.
What's wrong with Star Trek being sexy?
Sexist, Nigel.
Oh, sexist.
Yes. A new frontier for women. Women in Star Trek have always had a strong presence, have always been given complex characterizations, and have ostensibly been treated as equals by both their peers and the utopian society that surrounded them. Guarantee you they go to the cage. Guarantee.
Yeah. Until now. They aren't now, though. That's the problem. They're not equals now. Now they're just talking down to men because they must really hate women in this new Star Trek, where they just have to constantly portray them as the most unpleasant, vile, despicable piles of trash.
That's an interesting point. I'll go with that.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think that those writers see that they're portraying them as despicable pieces of trash. I think that they portray them as themselves, and they don't realize that since they are pieces of trash, whatever they write as themselves also comes across as pieces of trash.
See, the problem is that the male writers have never actually talked to a woman, and the female writers have never had any friends because of their personalities.
Oh yeah,
they're very oblivious. They're very socially oblivious. Yes,
they mix that into making it like you, and now no one wants to watch your show. All right, equation solved.
Okay, let's get back to this, which makes sense, as equal representation was always a core tenet of this frontier frontier busting space opera. That's awkwardly worded. When the very first Star Trek launched onto the airwaves, Gene Roddenberry's utopian vision led him to position a woman on the bridge, and originally this wasn't an uhura. Here it comes. Star Trek's first pilot episode was produced in 1965, and it featured a woman as first officer.
And it sucked.
As number one, Major Barrett's character was a commanding presence on the bridge, a little too commanding for test audiences and NBC. According to Roddenberry.
Says who?
It wasn't because she was a woman. It was because it was a stupid piece of crap show before they fixed it with more interesting characters.
I think
I've seen that footage, and they needed Kirk.
Yeah,
the guy they had before was like, he was like, was it even supposed to be Pike? Because it was a guy who looked like Pike.
Jeffrey Hunter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his son attacked me.
Oh, that's pleasant.
Yeah. That's why I have a little bit of a hate boner for Pike. Not only
like real nice family.
Yeah, real nice family, wonderful family, bunch of winners there. No, not only that, like Pike was a garbage character. He was just a bad, bland, way too uninteresting to stand out in a world of mid to late 60s television where you needed something a little bit more. You had a lot of sci-fi on. You had a lot of westerns. You had a lot of these kind of by the book, somber, I guess would be a word, solemn sort of characters that don't really do a lot. They're very reserved.
Yeah, I think he was there to make Kirk look more badass because he looks so staunch and he's by the book and he's not really working out. But he was supposed to be, the elder officer of Kirk, but Kirk shows him up. That just makes Kirk the man.
Well, listen to this. According to Roddenberry, it was the women in the test audience that really reacted to number one badly, thinking her too assertive. When the original series was reconceived with Kirk at the helm, number one was gone. It would take another 2 Trek shows and 3 decades to finally cast a woman as first officer.
Who cares?
See, it doesn't matter.
But to me, this sounds like that. According to Gizmondo or whoever is writing this, then the women of those test audiences had internalized the misogyny of society around them, which is why they were the ones taking it down. But it fits with their narrative that only good people have been like in the last 2, 3, 4 years or so, and nothing that was done before ever mattered. It never happened. Wasn't good enough.
And here they go again, shitting on Nichelle Nichols' legacy. Not only was she the lead female character on the show, but she was African American, and they always overlook that fact. And that no other lead actress in a role like that on television was black at that time.
But Tom, it doesn't count because she's not in charge.
I know.
Everyone on the bridge is in charge. There's like 5 people on the bridge. You don't just get to be on the bridge.
Yeah, guess what happens
if let me on the bridge?
Guess who's in charge if Spock and fucking Kirk get killed?
Scotty. And
well,
then
after
Uhura.
Scotty. And then Uhura. I was going to say, I forgot about Scotty. Sorry.
Yeah, Scotty could rewire the ship and has.
But he'd be like, I ain't no bridge officer.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, without number one, the original Star Trek, without number one, the women of the original Star Trek were very much of their time. Nurse Chapel, that role, was subservient to Dr. McCoy. And here we go, Tom. And Uhura, Nichelle Nichols, a pioneer of African American representation, nonetheless had fewer lines than her male counterparts.
She wasn't the lead.
She was communications and operations. She wasn't supposed to leave the ship. She wasn't on the away team, therefore she had less lines.
Yeah, guess what? Mrs. T on Discovery has no lines.
Now let's take Chekhov and let's take Sulu and take the episode.
Yeah, I was about to say, how are
the
they
away.
line-wise in comparison? Not too well, I should imagine.
Yeah, non-away team episodes. Probably the same, right?
Michael Burnham's the only one who has any fucking lines.
But she has all of them, and most of them are about how inept everyone else is.
Exactly. She's telling everybody else how to alien.
I was saying, who was I saying this to? I was saying this very recently. If Michael Burnham was on the USS Voyager, Janeway would have said to her, as a commanding officer, as an bridge officer, I respect and value your opinion, but don't you dare question my authority on this bridge, or you will spend the rest of this voyage in the brig. Do you understand? And she would have locked her in the brig.
No, she would have been like Seska and fucked off with the Kazon or something. She wouldn't have lasted on the ship if she had to follow orders from a white woman.
We got to remember, guys, the Star Trek universe now operates under the Smallville rules. So move along.
You know what's funny? If you're in Starfleet, you're in with like thousands of people, right? And you're all going after a shared goal or a shared set of goals. So to yell at people, it goes against the whole group. It's very,
I'm skipping it. I'm trying to skip ahead. I'm trying to skip ahead to where she gets to Mikey Spock, because she's got to mention Mikey Spock.
Well, I'm sure it's all praise and glory for the new stuff.
Yeah, well, 7 of 9, yada yada. The knock-on
who they destroyed in this new thing by making her a bloodthirsty lunatic murderer who didn't even think twice about just wiping out an entire room full of people. She didn't think twice about killing Icheb, even though she didn't have to, because he could have survived without the cortical node that he didn't have in the first place if they had actually watched Voyager.
Well, that's what makes her strong and independent, isn't it? And that is what this probably paid for puff piece is trying to celebrate. Like, oh, look at her now. Now we got it right. Everything
so
before
courageous and brave to kill those people.
super problematic.
The only thing that's missing in this is the lower decks black chick that's in the preview that has an infatuation with the shields. Her smack dab in the middle is the only thing missing from this picture.
Oh, special needs 5-year-old who's got to play with the windshield.
Yeah, so they could have at the end how great Lower Decks is going to be, because they got not one but 2 female leads in this show.
No, she goes on to blame the boys club, saying if the entertainment industry is dominated by men now, this was even the more case decades ago. But the difference is now you can scream sexism and get your way. Star Trek has had few female writers and producers over the years. DC Fontana wrote for the original series, The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. Jerry Taylor got her start producing The Next Generation before co-creating Voyager, to name just 2 immensely influential staffers.
Yeah, and how many female writers do they have now? Because it's all Alex stupid fucking Kurtzman.
Yeah, but as Marina Sirtis points out, Star Trek was a franchise created by men. Even though we were writing a show about the 24th century, apart from Jerry Taylor and Melinda Snodgrass, who they screwed out of her royalties, The writers and producers were all men, 20th century men. So it's not going to be that far reaching. Oh,
that's because
off.
back then not as many women wanted jobs in writing in the entertainment industry. Not as many women were wanting this. You got to keep in mind the day and age where women were still just starting to come into the workforce. There's still traditionally housewives out there, and fuck all you stupid fake feminists who are now looking down on any woman who chooses to be a stay-at-home wife. Seriously, this shit pisses me off. It's pissed me off for 20 years. They act like they're so high and mighty now, looking at a context of everything actually being equal. And they don't understand that, yes, you do have equal opportunity, if not more so, because of people wanting to not appear sexist when they do bring in these writers. And what happens? They bully and harass anyone out of the writer's room who doesn't agree with their whims, who isn't part of their little cult. And we know that that's the cult mentality. Look what happened to Walter Mosley, right? They went and tattletale to HR because he said a word that hurt their little feelings. So maybe women don't want to work in those environments. Maybe women don't care about science fiction stories in general. Did you ever think of that? Maybe more women actually sit there and want to write soap operas like in Dark Shadows. The woman who played the maid on Dark Shadows wrote so many episodes like that. Maybe more women actually sit there and want to write soap operas like in Dark Shadows. The woman who played the maid on Dark Shadows wrote so many episodes like that. Maybe more women actually sit there and want to write soap operas.
Okay, Rob, you're playing the video in the background.
No, I'm not. I'm not playing a video in the background.
Maybe more women.
It's coming through on your end. Yeah, it was coming through on your end, Rob. I don't know what the hell the deal was.
I just thought Mecha went Robo and just
I was like, what the fuck is going on there? Andre has to check out here, guys. So if anything you want to say real quick about this, Andre, sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all right. It's just so frustrating, isn't it? With like these insane cultists, these modern day totalitarians that have taken over the entertainment media complex and large parts of the industry, and their stupid narrative is just so frustrating to read and listen to. But I guess we just have to endure it and have some fun with it. Not much else we can do.
I think your rant transcended dimensions.
Hopefully I'll punctured a hole through the right planet, the right version of Earth where we're all supposed to be right now.
But yeah, thank you so much, Andre, for taking some time to hop in here. We appreciate it.
Yeah, certainly. Anyway, thanks for having me, and have a great day, evening, night, wherever it is, whatever you are. Yeah, certainly. Anyway, thanks.
You're getting echo, Rob. It's probably your voice meter.
Hey, as long as everybody's bitching, if they see that men, particularly white men, can't see forward into the future to well enough to write something worth like, have they ever heard of H.G. Wells or Jules Verne? Forward into the future or well enough to write something worth like, have they ever heard of H.G. Wells or Jules Verne? Forward into the future.
Speaking of the time machine,
row your boat.
I think he got it fixed. I did thought he had it fixed. Yeah.
Row your boat. Row your boat.
He got it fixed. I did thought he had it. What the hell is going on, Rob?
We can like talk to ourselves in the past if we work it out right.
Yeah. Just refresh your whole thing, Rob, without voice meter coming in fresh.
We can't talk to ourselves in the future though, because we don't have the foresight.
We're gonna have to forego any noise or music. The rest of the show probably. But yeah, speaking. This business is just typical propaganda bullshit. Them trying to prop up some nonsense, like Mecha was kind of saying. Basically, they're trying to justify, this, that, and the other, and blame it on men as usual. And it's like, really, the show was more progressive and equal back in the day than it is now.
I would say so. Like the blonde girl in the middle. What's her name again?
Tasha Yar.
Yeah, because she had like a shit upbringing where she was like a road warrior basically.
And why is she dead center? She was in like a whole fucking season.
She was in
I don't
one
know.
season.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But-
they don't
but,
even
like-
include Commander Shelby, who was in the Best of Both Worlds two-parter, and she was the first officer on the Enterprise when Riker became captain. And
Yeah,
she was
but,
a good character.
her backstory is pretty dark. Like I'm sure she's been,
Yeah,
attacked
failed colony
sexually
survivor.
Yeah,
and all this
she-
other shit, and
Yeah.
but she didn't hate men. She ended up sleeping with Data.
Mhm.
She made
Well, no,
him a man.
Future, you were more they were more evolved. And writing how they wrote the future in the past was more evolved than it is now. These
Yeah.
people have devolved into the point of a bunch of reactionary children who, if they don't get their way, they throw a temper tantrum. And that's where we are in the world and society now. And the fact that they even have Tasha Yar in the middle just means they're more of a fan of Walking Dead than they are Star Trek, and they probably recognized her in that. The fact that they keep going back to the cage is still part of their nonsense bullshit. It's like that asshole we were arguing with yesterday in Twitter, where he just kind of keeps reciting back the same little narrative. They always recite back the same they find the one little thing that they can poke a hole with in a tweet. Like if we have a problem with the naked ensign in Upper Deckers, then they like to say, oh, see, this is a problem now, or Star Trek is this now. Star Trek is this now is what they're quoting back at everybody on Twitter. And I'm like, okay, you're just doing this because you're a giant fucking baby antagonizing people. And that's what these articles are meant to do. They're supposed to be babies throwing temper tantrums, trying to antagonize people.
Clickbait. It's not clickbait. It's rage bait is what it is.
It is. It's gaslighting all over the place.
Yeah.
It's gaslighting and it's rage bait. They're trying to provoke an argument. They're trying to get their name. This Eleanor, whatever her name.
It's Trevor's axiom, but they're using it on us.
Yeah. Say the most outrageous thing you can in order to get everybody going, get everybody at each other's throats. And I get mine.
You get a species, you get a generation of stupid people who believe this. Then you get a generation of people who might not know Star Trek, who come in and try and gatekeep the old fans out because they're like, oh, well, this was always this way. And they have this condescending, snotty attitude like Star Trek was something it wasn't, because they see these articles, because they come in with this attitude and this thing thinking it's so much better now. And that it was always this sexist thing. And all these women are just there, to bring the captain's slippers and a pipe. I mean, that's not how it was. That's not how it was portrayed, even in the 1960s. And the fact that Uhura has fewer lines, that just goes to show that was a smaller role because she didn't have as much to do on the ship, right? She was not the main character of the ship. It was.
And another thing was it's in line with her character because how many different languages was she supposed to speak? She was busy doing her fucking job.
Yeah.
And we've gone on a lot longer on this than I wanted to, but 16-Bit Mascot sends in $3.50. Thank you so much. Hail Mead, keep on keeping it real. And sorry about all the technical difficulties we've been having lately. I'm having some, Rob's having some. I'm waiting for everybody else to start having some. And good evening to all those who are just coming in now. I see we've had some newcomers come in. What was
There's a sub because this is like one of my favorite shows. That's why I always show up here.
There was a Windows update, and as I always say, whenever there's a Windows update, it's only a matter of time before they screw something up.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for I got to do mine after the show, and then fucking something screwed up in my sound right now to where I have to switch to communications to hear you guys, but that means I can't hear anything else. So like if I do like Fenton.
Jesus Christ! Fenton! Oh Jesus Christ! Fenton!
I can't hear any of that. I can't hear.
I love him.
Little bug's got balls.
Yeah, I see. I can't hear any of that right now. So, and then we got Rob's shit. And I see now my voice meter went and started doing what Rob's was doing a while back. So I quit using it because it kept echoing all the time on people.
I think we may have to update to a new version for the voice meter to compensate for the Windows 10 changes.
Yeah, I got it to work to where if like I'm doing like karaoke, I just got to turn on the 1 bit and then as long as nobody else is doing anything, it's fine.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
It's a bunch of technical hooey.
It's a program we found to let us play sounds through the
Yeah, and
Everything's
everything's
how you do your music while you're still talking without hitting the button 5,000 times.
yeah, and that's how they kind of try and fuck. They got to change everything every 5 minutes. So, well, everybody was like curious about this. So let's do this one next, Rob. This I just saw this and I took a big like a what?
So we fledged.
Put the link in the chat so
yeah,
I can bring it up. I had all the links up and I had to close the browser.
Maybe that's why you're having problems too. But John Hamm is set to star in and produce Miramax's Fletch comedy reboot.
I like John Hamm, but I don't know.
Huh? I see him more as a Bond than I do as a Fletch. Like if
maybe Felix Leiter, you know.
He's
That's
definitely
the
not.
problem. I don't see any comedians
type.
in the modern age that could hold a candle to any of the old comedians. So when you try to,
I don't know. I think Ryan Reynolds would have been the perfect choice for Fletch.
I've
Who
been
the
saying,
fuck did not think to get Ryan Reynolds to play Fletch is beyond me. But
you know, he's not a household name, and he's criminally underutilized. But I kept thinking Joel McHale would be a good Fletch.
not a horrible. If you couldn't get Ryan
Not a horrible
Reynolds,
choice, yeah.
that's not a horrible choice. Yeah, but Ryan Reynolds, I think, would be it's like a no-brainer to me.
Well, it's like he's been playing Fletch as part of his career since he started. Like,
Yeah,
since
look
Van
at
Wilder.
that Van Wilder movie. He is Fletch in college.
Yeah.
Like, let's face it. That's all it is.
Yeah. So, John Hamm, he auditioned to be Superman for Man of Steel.
So yeah, I can see him more as Superman, Bond, that kind of a character.
he'd be a great Lex Luthor too.
Yeah, great Lex Luthor.
So one of the problems was that when he put on the costumes, they said it looked like a Halloween costume. You know, it looked that bad. He looked that bad in it, rather. So, anyway.
Maybe he'll hit you with some kind of like straight dry delivery that will really make it work.
Yeah, maybe. So, okay, Greg Mottola will direct the film revival of Chevy Chase's 1985 comedy thriller based on Gregory McDonald's mystery novels. My brother Dino read all the novels. He said they're very good. Miramax and John Hamm are teaming up for a reboot of Fletch, the 1980s Chevy Chase movie based on the original Gregory McDonald mystery novels. You said that already. Hamm will star as I Am Fletcher, the hotshot investigative reporter played by Chase in the 1985 neo-noir comedy of the same name. McDonald's 11 mystery books, the first of which was published in 1974, center on Fletcher as he juggles writing exposés. Put an accent mark, will ya? Exposes. That says exposes.
They didn't know the alt code for that.
Well, obviously, time.
Speaking of, what is the alt code for that?
Yeah,
I think it's Alt 138.
Alt 138.
Well, give it a try.
I don't want.
I had to learn what the alt code was for TM. So
I'll break something.
So I can put.
What
Rob's
is it?
Penis.
I just copy and paste it.
Yeah. Rob's penis TM, the authentic Rob's penis. But anyway, while avoiding headaches caused by his two ex-wives, Hamm will also produce the latest movie adaptation alongside manager and producer Connie Tavel. And Greg Mottola, known for comedies like Superbad and Arrested Development, is set to direct with Zev Barrow penning the screenplay and David List executive producing. The Fletch property has been long in development as a remake or reimagining, including Warner Brothers and Relativity Studios. Miramax's film adaptation will be based on the second book in the Fletch series, Confess Fletch. Hamm's Fletch character will find himself in the middle of multiple murders, one of which has him as a prime suspect. While attempting to prove his innocence, Fletch must find his fiance's stolen art collection, an inheritance she has acquired after her father goes missing and is presumed dead. And that's how interesting this is. Fletch's duration over audiences, whether told on paper or the big screen, entertains all, and we could not be more thrilled to see what the 21st century twists these artists create. Miramax CEO Bill Block said in a statement. Hamm is rep by yada yada yada. Nobody cares. Okay.
Twist, meaning they're going to emasculate him, and it's going to be a bunch of women bitching at him and talking.
And why do you get a good-looking guy like Hamm to play? It's
because it reminds them of their daddies, who they're mad at because they have to go to work.
Okay, I'm not saying that Hamm probably can't pull it off. I'm not saying that the guy's probably not funny. I've seen him in some things that weren't straight, like Mad Men, but I just don't see him playing this part. I don't get it. I don't see why. Script, help me out. Understand this here.
Well, I mean, I've seen John Hamm do a lot of comedy stuff. He's got chops for comedy.
Yeah, but he's too pretty for this.
Could it just be that he's the one who brought it up and started bugging people around Hollywood about it?
Well, he is one of the producers, but that doesn't mean
could
a
be.
lot.
Yeah, could be. It was pitched by a writer to him, and he signed on, and because he likes the idea. Because I mean, what was the last comedy he was in with like Gal Gadot? And I don't even think anyone remembered that movie. So he's definitely looking for something to stretch his brand out, because he's been in the serious dramas. Well, at least that's where he's popularized. But I remember him seeing on sketches for Saturday Night Live and 30 Rock and Wet Hot American Summer, and yeah, he held his own and kind of shined in those roles. So, I mean, I don't see why not have him in Fletch. I'm pretty sure he's capable enough to fit the tone of what the Fletch should be, but it all depends on, is the script going to fit the tone of what Fletch should be, and is the director going to, honor the tone of what Fletch should be.
In the words of Randy Quaid, are you sure? Because
not 100%, but I mean,
he's too pretty.
That's like saying, can I make
Reynolds,
Caddyshack 2 today and make it the same?
Well, there was a Caddyshack 2.
Caddyshack 2 is a classic.
I don't think of funny when I think of John Hamm. I mean, I'm not saying the guy can't.
When I think of Chevy Chase either, but like,
Chevy Chase
at the time when he did it, though,
isn't a ha-ha guy, but he's a master of that sly, dick-headed comment.
Well, that's the thing I mean, I'm not saying like, okay, first of all, I have to I've never read the books, and I probably have to kind of wipe away this idea of Chevy Chase. But when I think of Fletch, I don't think of this kind of guy. He can't be, because this is the kind of guy you put in a cop role or your Dirty Harry kind of role. Fletch is this sneaky reporter who can, take on these strange personas, and he gets away with it. I don't think of John Hamm when I don't think of him slipping in and out of different characters. Like, I mean, okay, like Peter Sellers would have been perfect for it, 30 years ago, but Chevy Chase worked out for it all right. Maybe Jim Carrey would have been great for it in the 90s. I don't know, but
who was it that was supposed to be Fletch? Actually, we had news of this not too long ago.
Well, there was a time Jason Lee was going to be playing Fletch, and that was another great choice when Kevin Smith was involved. He was going to have he was going to have Jason Lee. Jason Lee, and that's what I'm saying. I see Jason Lee, Ryan Reynolds, the snarky kind of
funny smartass with a good personality.
Even David Spade would make a better Fletch probably than John Hamm.
David Spade would make a pretty good Fletch, yeah.
I mean, yeah, so you need that kind of a guy. You don't need an action star kind of guy. And I'm not saying John Hamm's an action star, but when I look at him, I see the Mad Men kind of, like you said, like the kind of more leading man kind of Cary Grant.
The leading dramatic actor.
Come on, I could see him doing like a Cary Grant kind of comedy, but not like Fletch. Like a family, like playing the dad in a romantic comedy or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see him as a Fletch type. I'm overthinking this.
Okay, I have a list of unproduced Fletch movies that were at one time in production or moving forward. But okay, we'll just go through them really quick. I won't go into too many details. Son of Fletch, starring Jason Lee, Joey Lauren Adams, and Chevy Chase, with Kevin Smith writing and directing. Around 1997-98. Proposed Fletch 1 with Jason Lee, Kevin Smith writing and directing. 2000. Fletch 1 starring Ben Affleck with Kevin Smith. That would have been I'm curious to see how that would have turned out.
Well, that was that period where Kevin Smith was like, Ben Affleck could play everything. You're going to remake Jaws and make Ben Affleck the shark.
I mean, the only one script I have is by Bill Lawrence, and that's from 2006. So that must have been just after Kevin Smith's popularity on that.
Well, there's one. Oh, yeah. Well, actually, this one, Fletch 1, starring Zach Braff, with Bill Lawrence writing and directing.
I remember that. I remember that now. Yeah.
Thank God that didn't happen.
All right.
freaking
What was that,
JD.
Mecca?
It's just Scrubs.
JD
Yeah.
from Scrubs, yeah.
Yeah, well, both.
Fletch 1, starring Josh Jackson, with Steve Pink directing, from Bill Lawrence's script. And they were talking about, around 2011, they were talking about Paul Rudd, Bradley Cooper, or Jason Bateman playing the role.
Paul Rudd
so many
and
guys in
Jason Bateman,
Hollywood.
maybe. Yeah.
There's so many guys
Paul
in
Rudd.
Hollywood right now. They're so middle of the road, bland and boring that any of those actors could be interchanged in any of 20 different roles.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't notice. It really bothers me.
Paul Rudd, maybe, but
Paul Rudd is another guy he's a nice guy, but he's just like Ryan Reynolds or a bunch of other people. They play themselves over and over again.
kind of. But I could see him all right. now.
Will Smith plays himself over and over again.
There was talk of Jason Sudeikis playing Fred.
No, and I think that was just because he was in that fucking Vacation movie. And that thing was a
No,
fucking
that was
mistake and a half. Or,
Jason Sudeikis was in
who was in the
Horrible Bosses.
Vacation one?
Vacation was
Yeah.
Andy. Crap.
I thought Vacation was that guy from We Are the Millers or Meet the Millers or whatever. It was.
Yeah.
Jason Sudeikis is also Meet the Millers and Horrible Bosses, and the Andy character from The Office was in the Vacation film.
At least he's got a little more spice to him. You know?
Wait,
I get
you're
them all
right.
kind of
Yeah, I get him confused too. Yeah,
Yeah, because he looks like Jeremy Renner.
not Ed Helms. No,
Ed Helms, that's who I was
Ed
thinking
Helms,
of.
right? Yeah, Ed Helms was in Vacation as Rusty.
Yeah, fucking stupid.
Shows
That
how
movie
much
was
all these
horrible.
People that look alike.
There was only one part I laughed in that whole Vacation movie, and that was
I
when
never
they're making fun of the whole girl in the fast car scene, and she gets hit by the semi. That was the only part I laughed.
Oh,
And that was in the trailer, wasn't it?
I think so. To me, it's almost like that's not really something that you should, because that's totally reliant on the original film, and the only reason it's funny is because of the first film. You know what I mean? It was kind of like Ghostbusters all over again. It's like anything that would have been funny in there was only funny because it's Ghostbusters and not because it's these girls doing their own thing. Matt G sent us a super sticker. Thank you so very much. We appreciate that.
ka-ching.
Yeah, Rob's gonna have to do the ka-chings orally. I said orally.
You said orally.
I did. I can't find my phrasing guy, but I need it for the next one anyway.
Will Forte might not make a bad Fletch.
Fucking Will Ferrell would make a better Fletch than fucking.
Notice I said not bad. I didn't say good. I said not bad.
No, but now when you're speaking of Wills, I would go with Will fucking Ferrell before I would fucking John Hamm. Here you go, Rob.
you can go with Will Arnett too, but
Will Arnett, yeah.
Slipping in and out of characters.
Hey, phrasing!
Says DCB Titan. Let's see. I think there was another one. I thought maybe that was that was the last one. All right.
Well, I was talking about Jason Sudeikis' script. Did you see Downsizing?
no, I read the script. It was okay. They kind of changed the ending I heard for the movie.
Yeah. What did you think of it? You thought it was okay, just kind of okay? You said?
Kind of okay, like cool concept, funny in some regards, but I think as soon as they had the wife not commit to it, and then they kind of left him.
You know what's funny is I think I watched
kind of,
that movie and I don't remember a goddamn thing about it.
It's hard to remember, yeah.
the idea is kind of interesting that you downsize, you shrink down. To me, it was just I was like, no. There's just too much more stuff you could do when you're full size. You know?
Yeah.
I don't give. Yeah, and
it's basically just saying like $1 of food will last me a month because I'm smaller now. Like that's basically the premise.
No, I really watched that and I don't remember watching it.
But it's supposed to be it's supposed to be this idea. Oh, we'll consume less, but actually, because your money goes farther, you just end up consuming more. You just spend it on other stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that was the irony of it. Yeah, and that's the actual definition of irony: things that you think wouldn't be true, but somehow are.
Yeah. So yeah, the irony is this John Hamm is going to be Fletch.
See, that's what we call a segue.
That's right.
Yeah. But you know what? If it ends up being a good movie, I mean, everybody's going to be better for it. I mean, it'd be nice to have a comedy again. I haven't seen a comedy in years. I mean, I've seen movies that they claim to be comedies, but they're not funny.
Actually, have you seen a Stupid and Futile Gesture on Netflix?
I still need to see that. Damn it!
No, I haven't checked that out yet.
Me.
that is actually very good. If you know, there's parts of it that are really funny, but there's parts of it that are just like really thought provoking and really interesting. And they address that about, hey, yeah, you leading Cuban magazine, you ain't got no brothers writing for you. Hey, come on, it's the 70s, man.
Yeah, Ed Brewer's right. Steve Carell would be a better choice for Fletch.
Yeah.
All right, this is another thing going on. CBS is under fire. Scrutiny. Nick Cannon demands full ownership of Wild and Out, says Viacom CBS on wrong side of history after firing. What the fuck is going on?
Shut his racist ass up.
In the words of Dave Chappelle, fuck Nick Cannon.
I don't know what the hell's going on. You're gonna have to tell me. I seriously don't.
Yeah,
Oh, he went on this Looney Tunes thing that was more far out than the explanation of Scientology. Except it was all racially biased, and that wasn't enough to get him fired. Then he started talking about the Jews.
All right, let's let Rob read this for us so we know what the hell's going on.
Okay, Nick Cannon demands full ownership of Wild and Out, says Viacom CBS on wrong side of history after firing. The host also says he reached out to Viacom CBS chair Sherry Redstone, oh boy, to have a conversation of reconciliation and actually apologize, which a rep for Repstone says is absolutely untrue. I can imagine Sherry Redstone, I'll crush your balls, Cannon.
No, she's probably going to say, who the hell's Nick Cannon?
Yeah.
Who?
Oh, that's what I said, too. And then I heard what he said, and fuck that racist piece of shit.
Sure, this is Nick Cannon. He walks into Sherry Redstone's office. Oh, good. You had to pick up my laundry. Okay. have the whites ready by Thursday. Why do I sound like an old Jewish mother? I don't understand. Okay. Nick Cannon took to Facebook very early Wednesday morning to defend himself after he was fired by Viacom CBS for a podcast episode that the company says promoted hateful speech and spread anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. In a lengthy post, the host demanded full ownership of my billion-dollar Wild and Out brand that I created and asked for an end to the hate and backdoor bullying and an apology. In the post titled Truth and Reconciliation, Cannon details his 20-year history as part of the Viacom family and says he's upset that a moment that that could lead to reconciliation and understanding was used to make an example of an outspoken black man. How about you were a dick? How about that? How about
you a fucking race card while he's attacking other people's race? Fuck that entitled, privileged piece of shit.
Well, Mecca, you gotta understand that you're just right to him. You're right above being an animal because you don't have enough pigment in your skin.
And you know what?
And that means that you also don't have a soul or something. I don't know. He was rambling.
Only gingers don't have souls.
He's a fucking game show host. Next.
I am deeply saddened in a moment so close to reconciliation that the powers that be misused an important moment for us to all grow closer together and learn about one another, Cannon wrote.
How does it feel to be less important than Chuck Woolery?
His ass is going to be really upset when he finds out how replaceable he is.
Instead, hey, let me tell you, Sherry Redstone's already on the phone with Wayne Brady, okay?
Yeah, Wayne Brady's cooler than you. He'll cut a bitch.
Instead, the moment was stolen and hijacked to make an example of an outspoken black man. Oh, grow up. You know, let me tell you something. Jesse, do you remember when Deion Sanders played for the Yankees for a brief time?
Yes.
Al Troutwig said to him, Deion, there's a lot of people saying in the media, in the press, saying that you aren't pulling your weight, that the Yankees made a mistake by signing you, that you haven't lived up to expectations. How do you respond to that? Well, I feel that's because I'm a black man and there's more expectation put on me. No, it doesn't have anything to do with you batting 161, does it, Deion?
Yep. Well, it's hard when you're a sports guy, especially something like baseball where you have batting averages and all that. I mean, if you're rocking certain numbers, then suddenly you aren't, and then you try to blame somebody else. It's a little too transparent.
It's quantifiable. You can point to evidence, like hard numbers, and say, "Listen, look, the numbers don't lie."
You got.
I've never heard of Wild.
Were you on better steroids then? Do we have to get your old guy out here? Because we'll fly him out here.
Black Phoenix says, let me say that Wild and Out is garbage, so it's garbage in and out.
That good one.
I've seen this show before, and you could just replace him with literally anyone.
I'll do it.
I apologize. Wayne Brady will choke a bitch, not cut a bitch. My bad.
We are at the ATM, Dave.
Well, anyway, he claims Viacom CBS chose to recently ban all advertisement that supported George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, who were all still seeking justice for. There was advertisement. It says he even reached out to Viacom CBS chair Sherry Redstone to have a conversation of reconciliation and actually apologize if I said anything that pained or hurt her or her community. But he claims his request to speak with Redstone was met with silence. Let that asshole stew.
Because she ain't got no time for your shit.
Okay, ready, Tom. Now you're gonna be Nick Cannon, and I'm gonna be Sherry Redstone. You're gonna ask me for a meeting to apologize.
The racial division in CBS needs to be justifiably taken care of in this incident of Wild and Out, Miss Redstone.
Who the fuck let you in?
I don't know. I don't even know who Nick Cannon is. I'll be back in 2 and 2 with Chuck Woolery.
A rep for Redstone says Cannon's claim he reached out to Redstone is absolutely untrue. His claim of a ban on ads supporting Floyd and Taylor seems to be a reference to this Wall Street Journal story about how Target and MTV blocked ads from news articles mentioning Floyd, protests, and other terms on block lists.
So he's a racist and a dumb shit.
Oh, God. So that's when I realized they don't want a conversation or growth. They want to put the young, oh God, do I have to say the young black man in his place? Well, he wrote it, so.
It sounds like he wants to bitch and piss and moan about how bad he has it with $1 billion fucking franchise after he says a bunch of racist shit. And what I see on Twitter are a lot of people saying, oh, he's right though. He's right though. Fuck you.
Time out. No.
It's on Twitter. They're a bunch of idiots.
I know. But that's the thing. That's the people who support it. And that's the people who encourage this crybaby behavior of, oh, boo-hoo, poor me. Fuck you.
I'm going to get canceled for saying this.
I will ever be, bitch.
But this is turning into exactly what I was afraid it was. It was going to be a lot of people using this situation to further themselves instead of it actually being what it's supposed to be about, and crying and getting a bunch of fucking shit handed to them because, oh, the color of my skin, or because I'm this or I'm that. That's what this is about. How about the simple fact that you didn't earn it, motherfucker? How about the simple fact that you didn't do the footwork? That's the thing that I'm sick and fucking tired of most of all. And this is where I think my buddy was right when he said this. He said, and for context, for those who don't know, I was talking to a guy who happens to not be white. And he brought up a fact of, I think that a lot of these young black men think that things that are the way they are is because they're so used to having everything handed to them. They're so used to everybody being so nice to them that the least bit of somebody who's resistant or tells them no, it feels like racism, or that when they're not handed shit to them. He goes, they're not used to knowing what it's like to actually have to work for something in their lives.
That's like a kid who's never been told no.
Exactly, and that was his point. And he was going off on this, and I'm like, really?
No, that I can add to that. Like with women, I see
the same thing, and he did. He mentioned white women in the same conversation.
Exactly.
And he goes, right now, he goes, all it needed was a little bit of stirring from the media and a few people to say, oh yeah, you're being wronged all this time. When actually, he goes, things have been more equal than they ever have been in history before. He goes, first things first. He goes. And I said, are you sure about that? He goes, yeah. He goes, when's the last time you walked up to a black man on the street and called him the N-word?
Why would I do that anyway?
And that's what I said. He goes, you wouldn't because you get your fucking ass kicked, right?
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, no person in their right goddamn mind would. So why are all these guys, and he said the N-word, out here acting like everybody's out there calling them N-words every day? Oh, he was pissed.
It would just be.
I totally understood what he was getting at by the end of that. I was like,
I don't mind getting punched in the face.
But no, that's his point. He's like, when was the last time? He goes, I've never actually been called one to my face. He's like, yeah, I've been treated this way and that way. I've had people follow me around in stores. I've had cops that were this, that, and the other. But you know what I've never had,
Look,
Thomas? I've never had anybody come up to my
house.
face and call me an N-word and threaten to lynch me or say, get the fuck out of this restaurant. You're the wrong color, boy. He said, I've never dealt with that in my entire life. And these kids acting like that's what life's like every day. He said they're full of shit. They just don't want to work. They're fucking lazy.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. I've had,
and that wasn't my words. That was not my words, to be clear, but they will be taken out of context and used against me. I
agree with every word that was just spoken, no matter who spoke it. How about that? And I'm what am I for the Olympics?
No, and he brought up white women in this conversation too, Mecca. He said it's the same thing with white women.
I am a white woman. I can attest to that. These white fucking Karens out there who throw their goddamn temper tantrums.
You know.
Be so oppressed and make everybody else feel so oppressed because they have to go around proving how not racist they are. That's all this fucking shit is. That's all this whole movement is a bunch of fucking white Karens going around having to prove they're not racist to each other because they actually said something racist at one point in their fucking lives. And they have to, and because that's how they dogpile each other, because they have to prove that they're not ist and phobic. Look at Brie Larson, for example. She's a perfect example of that. She made her fucking racist movie and now she has to go around for her whole entire life talking about how privileged she has it, or else people fucking call her out because she's clueless to understand how fucking privileged she actually is.
I gotta toss something out about Karen culture real quick because I deal with a lot of different people every day, and most of the Karens are actually white men. I just like to say that first off.
Too. Oh yeah, that too.
And I'm out of the t-shirt making business until I find a company that isn't full of commies. But somebody needs to make a shirt with like a really hipster milady type of cucked white guy, like a millennial on it, with a mask on,
like
Ethan's like a Corona mask, and then just have it say, "I'm caring about you." I'm Karen at the top and about you on the bottom.
I like that. I'm Karen
with the stupid little like Buddy Jesus smile because he doesn't get it.
I'm caring about you. I like that.
Well, that's how these fucking these male feminists are. They always attack a woman, and that's how you get all these women going around with their fucking oppression shit. And they're that's racist.
Well, these male feminists are the ones who have the biggest skeletons in their closet.
Exactly, and those are always the men who go. Anytime you have a woman's opinion, they have to attack you for it. Anytime you disagree with them or prove them wrong or say, "Hey, I'm a woman and I don't feel this way. I don't feel any."
You want to know why? Because real men are afraid of women. We know what y'all are capable of.
No, those guys are trying to. They're the reason.
And if you don't, she'll prove it to your car.
Exactly.
They're basically the Eddie Haskell, like, oh, I'm not a weasel like everybody else.
Exactly. Yes.
Wait, and that's
a very good example
because
they're all Eddie Haskells. Thank you.
They're a bunch of small penis, insecure, self-hating, powerless individuals. So whenever they get any kind of power, it's going to be in a mob situation.
Yep.
With groupthink.
And it's going to be quickly abused.
Powered. Yeah, exactly, because it's their first taste.
So in other words, as far as I'm concerned, Nick's acting like an entitled, spoiled little fucking brat.
He's a little bitch. He's a little bitch and he can suck it.
Speaking of little bitches that can suck it, my segues are on fire tonight.
Yeah.
It's happening. Great entertainment is finally here. Free. Stream now at Peacock TV. Let's do this.
I don't care.
Well, it's free, so they can't copyright claim you.
Free. No credit card required. Great. Let's see what they got. Oh, we got Johnny Depp in Fear and Loathing Las Vegas. They're not fearing Johnny Depp being right on the main page there.
I never saw that. I never saw that movie.
Oh, we got Saturday Night Live. But what do we got? We got all of it or just the crap?
Saturday Night Live?
If it ain't starting from 1975, it's not Saturday Night Live.
Exactly.
That's right.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm pissed off at Johnny Depp over political stuff because, sorry, but I am. But Fear and Loathing, you got to see that movie.
Well, I think he got done wrong by fucking.
It was just.
I think he got done wrong too, but there was the whole thing about I think it's overdue for an actor to shoot a president.
I don't want to sign up for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just to me it's just Johnny Depp in a hat mumbling for 2 hours.
Oh, it's not even on the right. Bump me off.
Yeah, I don't
here.
think you like Fear and Loathing. I think Rob would hate it.
Rob?
I did like Where the Buffalo Roam. What Thomas?
Oh, I was gonna say you wouldn't. You don't think he would like it? I think he'd. I don't know if he'd hate it, but I don't think he'd
I can
dislike
see
it.
him hating a lot of it. Not
I don't know. I don't know.
He doesn't do drugs.
You don't necessarily have to do drugs to like it. I saw that film before I've ever touched anything in my entire life.
I knew a lot of hipsters, I knew a lot of people. Well, yeah, a lot of hipsters. They would all say the same thing. Oh man, this movie's so great. Oh yeah, what's so great about it? It's just about this guy and he's on drugs. I'm like, and that was like recurring theme. Like everything they would read or watch or listen to was about a guy on drugs.
And I think that's simplifying a little bit because Hunter S. Thompson's a fucking character in and of himself.
Yeah.
And I'd say Johnny Depp captures his maniacal isms much better than Bill Murray ever did.
Yeah.
I'm reading Charles Bukowski. Oh yeah, what's the book about? It's about this guy and he's on drugs.
It's backcountry.
I'm like, yeah, and that's it. What are you talking about? That's it. There's got to be more.
Jesse and I took a ride in backcountry.
And we shall again.
We forgot our fly swatters, though. Damn it! This is backcountry.
We need to go to Miami and fuck that.
They pick up freaky fucking. What's his face? For the kid who played Spider-Man first.
Tom Holland.
Tobey Maguire. Yeah, they pick up freaky Tobey Maguire off the side of the road. It's a fucked up movie, dude. It's messed up. You might like it, Rob. I don't know. Nikki D sends $10. I'm a black woman, and I find Nick Cannon's diatribe very prejudiced. He comes across as a privileged crybaby, trying to garner pity by using a race card like a Karen. Thank you, Nikki D. You basically said what I said in very few words and probably much more eloquently. And actually from a point of view that it's probably much more personal, I suppose, in that respect.
How much can you mock this guy? Can you just really do a caricature of Nick Cannon at this point?
I don't think anybody gives two shits about Nick Cannon.
Yeah, but can I sit here and go, well, the Jews are just very sad because, you know, they're savages? Because that's pretty much what he said.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He really doesn't want to work in Hollywood ever again.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's so much you can do and say and work in Hollywood, but that's like one of the few.
Mariah's still going to let him clean the pool?
Ouch, that's right. He was married to her, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's why he's famous.
That's right. I was trying to remember. Why is this bitch famous? I don't even care about him. He's Chuck Woolery, but not as fucking famous.
Yeah, for real.
All I know is he's on some game show. He wasn't it? Like he was the host or some shit. That's all I remember him from.
I stood there in the
and I can't even remember which game show it was.
He was on Scrabble.
Chuck Woolery was on
Voice
a lot of ones. Yeah, the Voice or one or whatever. Not the Voice. The one with the
Masked Singer.
Masked Singer. That's it. I couldn't think of it. Was he even a singer himself?
No. He's supposedly he was a comedian.
No, you're thinking of the Usher.
No, I'm not thinking of Usher, but Nick Cannon. I don't get it. Why is he a thing? So he's one of these little.
Not anymore.
He's one of these little fucking like privileged motherfuckers who thinks he should be bigger than he is, basically.
Right place, right time, and he became bigger than he actually should have been.
And he was good in bed, so yeah, I guess, or at least good enough for fucking Mariah.
She can't remember her own lyrics. It can't be that hard to please the woman.
Mariah, yeah, Mariah is like almost on the level of like what's that one chick name?
Fried fish right now.
Yeah, she's fried. She's fucking gone.
It's some fried fish.
But anyway, the Peacock dropped. You got to sign in to check anything out. I noticed here, so I'm not even going to bother with that right now.
Create an account.
America's Got Talent. That's what he was also on. Okay, thank you. Sent $2. But what talent does he have?
None.
I think he was just the host, so he had to basically recognize it.
Would it be unfair to call him the Black Ryan Seacrest?
No.
Well, Ryan Seacrest actually works, so I think that would be. Ryan Seacrest has got like 20 jobs.
True, I know. That's why that was a sick burn, motherfucker. Okay, Peacock. No one gives a shit. I'll let you all know if the old Saturday Night Lives are on there. I'll check it out later. I'm not going to sign in for all. I should have done that before the show, but I just seen that. It's just like, my God. We've only been on for an hour? Wow.
Time flies when you're playing video games.
Yeah,
Time
it's
drags
quick.
when your friend's playing them.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there was this Tom Holland business, too, in the War Shack stuff yet. So let's...
Yeah.
There's not much going on in production. We were talking about this before the show. That's why we were a little late. What did you send? Oh, this. And then we got this thing here you sent, Rob, too, probably.
Yeah, about Deadpool, yeah.
Deadpool. Well, speaking of the Marvel Universe, Tom Holland is on the set of Uncharted movie, which is actually happening. It's only been 13 years.
Yep. After multiple false starts over the last 13 years, it appears that the Uncharted movie is finally about to start.
How is
filming.
Nathan Fillion not playing this dude?
Because
I bet someone thinks he's too old right now.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
Tom Holland looks like he's an embryo. I mean, come on.
This dude looks just like him. Not Tom Holland, but Fillion.
Nathan, yeah.
Yeah.
You could de-age him.
They have the technology.
We have the technology.
We can rebuild him. Better, stronger, faster.
You know what? Screw it. Just have Nathan Fillion do a $6 million man movie.
While we're at it.
Well, now it would have to be the $6 billion man because of
Yeah,
inflation.
they already did that. Yeah, I think when Kevin Smith wrote his version, I think it was the $6 billion man or something like that.
The news came from.
I mean, I think they should literally keep it $6 million and just see that technology not that great.
There you go, script. They can't get the other one off the ground. You can't make it because it's too goddamn expensive. Pitch this version. It'll be hilarious.
Yes, deal with
right into your budget woes. It's perfect.
Sorry, Steve. We can't fix your arm.
They defunded the police.
They defunded the program. Yeah.
Parts from like China and Russia and shit.
Your department. The department has had some budget cuts, so we're gonna have to outsource you to China.
Yeah.
Get Steve Carell. It's a winner.
You could have him jump off of something and his knee just snaps like a twig.
I lost my leg 6 miles back.
I'm running on fumes. Literally, I ate a burrito. That's all I got.
That's not my body doing it. That's me.
Yeah, it's the gears grinding together.
Anyway, the news comes from lead actor Tom Holland's Instagram, where he posted a photo with the chair with the word Nate on the back and the caption "Day 1 #Uncharted." Despite Holland's implication that filming is underway, shooting hasn't actually started yet. The original rights to the video game action-adventure series were optioned back in 2007, and the project has slowly been cycling through directors ever since. David O. Russell, director of The Fighter, Silver Linings Playbook, was attached to direct the film with Mark Wahlberg set to play treasure hunter Nathan Drake in 2010. Then came Limitless director Neil Berger. Berger. Horrible Bosses director Seth Gordon and 10 Cloverfield Lane director Dan Trachtenberg, who all subsequently left the project. The most recent departure was Bumblebee director Travis Knight, who left in early 2020. It seems to be that the current version of the film, the one that finally is about to start filming, is headed by patron saint of troubled Sony Pictures Productions, Ruben Fleischer, director of Venom and the Zombieland series, which had a sequel that took a decade to get off the ground. Meanwhile, in the
nobody saw.
Meanwhile, in the decade since he was first cast, Mark Wahlberg has aged from leading man Nathan Drake to his older friend and mentor Sully. This may be partly due to a decision to set the whole story earlier in Drake's life, in which it would make Sully a younger character as well. When Wahlberg moved to the Sully role, Sony replaced him with the current Spider-Man Tom Holland, who will play the young Nathan Drake. In April, Sony shifted the movie's release date from October 8th, 2021 to July 16th, 2021. A rare example of a movie getting moved up rather than
When
delayed.
do we get to the yada yada nobody cares?
Right now. Nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares. The DCV Titan sent Canadian $5. We had to outsource your penile reconstruction to China, and there may be a difference in national averages. That's a $6 million man. Nikki D sent one before that, says, a bit off topic, but would Drew Goddard make a decent director for a Batman movie?
Probably.
Probably. I mean, I'm looking
Cabin
at
in the Woods and what else?
yeah, probably just as good as Matt Reeves.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it all depends on what type of genre story they're going to do he would do for a Batman. That's the other part.
Yeah. And then we got a super sticker from Raging Rhino. It is a pair with a thumbs up. Thank you, Raging Rhino. I don't do as good a didgeridoo.
Wow.
I know there's a few of you out there who are into this stuff. I'm not into the didgeridoo or the what is that, a kazooie-doo, and I'm not into the Uncharted. I've never played the game. I mean, I'd possibly see the film when it came out on free video.
No, the games are good, Tom. The games are good. The games
They look like Pitfall.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the idea. Except for the people, I haven't played the fourth game, but the fourth game was where Neil Druckmann took over.
Why don't they call it Pitfall?
No. Well, anyway,
this is where I get confused. No, I totally am not taking anything away from anybody who's in this stuff. I'm just not a gamer. Like, I'm a lot like Andre. I'm more of a classic gamer. And unless it's GTA where I can just go around killing people, then I have very little interest. I mean,
I'm getting tired of GTA because every asshole has an oppressor, and it makes it impossible to play. Play
online, I get shit. Yeah, I quit playing online quicker than shit. Jesse, I used to play with him once in a while, but I just got kind of tired of it.
I was away for a minute. What were you talking about?
Oh, we were talking about GTA. It's like it gets old after a while.
I played the other day and I was rusty. Good enough.
But see, I haven't. Last time I played was with you, Jesse. Anyway, sorry, Rob.
I sold out the damn casino by myself.
Yeah, every asshole has an oppressor now, though.
I know, dude. What you need for the oppressor is you need them to get close, then hit them with the combat MG.
You know what I do actually? This is what I do. So I saw this and somebody made a YouTube video about this. I have the space blaster gun.
Yep.
You knock them off the bike.
The atomizer.
Yeah, the atomizer. Yeah, you knock them off. You have to wait till they get fairly close, but you knock them off the bike, and then you just whip out a regular gun. You just shoot the guy. Yeah. And they get all
atomizer. It's so good for missions too. Like, if you're doing deliveries with like a UPS truck and it gets stuck behind a wall, and you're like, shit, just hit it with the atomizer. Sends it flying back onto the road. We're good to go.
But they get seriously pissed off when you griefers get really pissed off when you do that, though.
Yeah, because you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
What I hate is that a little tank that people roll upon you with off the radar. It's like, that takes skill. The
mini tank.
Yeah. There's a lot of things in there that are good for cheese balls, and there's a rotation you could run actually. I don't know why I'm saying this online, but between calling Lester for a minute off the radar, the CEO off the radar for 3 minutes, and Ghost. Then there's the mini tank, there's the RC car, and then there's the oppressor callback. So between that, you could be constantly running like a trolling vehicle, where you're at very little risk of getting hurt.
Mm-hmm. The only vehicle I have, really weaponized vehicle, is the A10 Warthog.
All right.
Yeah, and really, I don't even use that.
Because it's slow.
It's slow, yeah. And I'm like, it's like swatting flies with an elephant gun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Now, like, I have shit tons of cars. I own like pretty much everything. But you know what car I drive? None of them. I'm either on foot or I'm in a Buzzard helicopter.
Yeah.
The Buzzard is still bread and butter to me. When you're a CEO, you could spawn it.
Yeah, the Buzzard helicopter is it's the most versatile thing.
Yeah, but it's got some drawbacks. It's not taking on an oppressor. It's not taking on a Hydra.
Yeah, we're losing the audience.
Yeah, you're losing Tom. DC announces new Rorschach comic series, and nobody gives a fuck.
Well, the only reason they're doing this is because DC has to have something from Watchmen in print all the time. Otherwise, they give up the rights.
Yeah. And at the same time, I just leave this character.
I've never seen Watchmen.
Yeah, but you never read the book either?
No.
It's one of my favorite graphic novels, and I do enjoy the film. The GMTC podcast sends $1.99, says Doom Clock now seems like it was a bad idea. Well, and again, like Rob was just saying, they have to. And there's legal reasons for that. If you want to expand on that a little more, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, technically, DC and Warner Brothers has the rights to the comics, to Watchmen, as long as they keep printing them, which is why there's always a new version of Watchmen. Always new printing. It's always going to press. They always have to keep. It's always stocked full in the trade paperbacks, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But if the second though that they stop, the rights go back to Alan Moore. So it's more. Yeah. They're milking it. I'm like, yeah, true, they're milking it, but at the same time, they're doing it for legal reasons. They're sort of they're backed up to the wall on this. And this say it's going to tie into the HBO series.
Oh, why? Well, first of all, it's got to be a
Rorschach
prequel.
died years before that series.
I was going to say, yeah.
But it's a prequel. It's the untold story of Rorschach.
Don't need it.
No. We already know everything we need to know about him by the time we hit fucking Watchmen. He's the craziest yet sanest one of the bunch. That's all you need to know.
He's a broken vigilante who's just trying to do the right thing constantly, even though he's willing to kill and break rules in order to
well, like
prove
I said, he's
justice.
the craziest, but he's the sanest of the bunch at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, I love how he's just like, y'all are fucking mad. And I'm gonna fuck all your shit up. Austin Trent sends $1.99. Why can't they adapt a Reggie Rorschach 2? A Reggie Rorschach 2? I mean, like, are you saying like if Reggie were to take on the mantle of Rorschach? Is that what you're saying? Didn't they try to do a sequel to Watchmen already? Wasn't that what Doomsday was?
Well, like I think the Doomsday Clock was like a pseudo sequel to Watchmen. I remember when they launched the prequel comic series to the Watchmen.
I don't know. I
think
read
supposed to be the Minutemen.
Reggie Rorschach. Didn't he play for the Cleveland Indians? No,
That was Reggie Brown, wasn't it?
Okay, never mind. Bad Shlomo. Moving on. Oy vey. Just that's it. It's a finite story. Watchmen is a self-contained story. You don't need any more. You want to keep reprinting the comics? Fine, go right ahead. You just don't need to expand upon it.
And I really don't know if they can do a much better adaptation than what Snyder did. I really don't. I mean,
all this money just like comes out of nowhere, and then we go put it in our bank accounts, and it makes me feel warm inside.
But I mean, I know like some people don't enjoy the movie, but I don't know if you can do a better adaptation. Like it pretty much has 90% of the book in there. Mm-hmm. The ending is better than the book. It's almost perfectly cast. I mean, sure, it's got some Zack Snyderisms in it, but
actually, you could trim about 45 minutes off the runtime if you just speed up all the slow
motion. Yeah,
motion.
if you did that, but I do prefer the ultimate cut. But yeah, the slow-mo shit is so Snyder. That's the only thing I don't like.
I mean, you could do it more faithful to the actual 1985 setting, because some of the technology they threw in there very much looks like early 2000s, trying to pretend to be 1985. Like the Owlman suit Night Owl suit was not very faithful or even
there's a few things. I'm not saying there isn't, but
I mean, I would prefer to see it like as a mini series on HBO where like one episode is one chapter of that book. And
you're not wrong. Okay, I'll take that back. If they were to redo it, and that's what I was pissed when I found out the Watchmen series on HBO wasn't just going to be that.
Yeah, me too.
They did the motion comics, and it was in 8 or 10 parts.
Yeah. Yes.
Why don't you just adapt that to TV? That's all you got to do. The whatchamacallits are done for you already. The
storyboards are done. You know what the music cues are. Yeah, the costumes would be cheap because
the timing.
Yeah. Well, you just put your money into the special effects for Dr. Manhattan and your set deck, and you're good to go. It would be a very, very well accepted adaptation if they kept it that way. It's all there for you. But no, I mean, as soon as I remember when they announced the Watchmen show, and I was hoping it was going to be the miniseries thing. Then I heard Damon Lindelof was attached. Then that's when I got really disappointed. And then I heard it was going to be a pseudo sequel to the comic book. So it was just kept on failing as more information came out.
Skip the ad, Tom. Yeah.
I didn't share the audio anyway because I can't hear nothing. Remember?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Well, let me see if I can. I ain't
gonna be able to hear it, but
let me see if I can share it here. Hold on. This is actually funny.
Lindsay Ellis, I'm gonna get nailed, dude.
Who?
What the hell?
I hear you
what the hell's this?
I must have hit something. There we go.
Okay, yeah, goodness, yeah.
Providing safe ways to connect.
This guy,
to the
it's
healthcare
very
you need.
robot chicken, but this guy actually did. This
Need
is
information. Not getting it. Time to break fingers.
Oh, God, please, man, don't!
Perhaps other appendages.
No, stop!
Make me stop.
But they'll kill me!
Herm, won't be much left to kill.
All right, fine, I'll talk!
Well,
Okay, the main guy, behind everything. His name is...
Oh, could that guy's voice have been more annoying? I mean, I'm totally invested in your character, and then he completely takes me out of the scene. Ugh. Anyway, I'm sorry. Did you want to finish him off, or should I... Rorschach and Deadpool. Not enough fool. He's a mental case. Music's not his thing.
Rob, you really need a hobby.
So I wrote the theme. I'm so talented. Copyright Deadpool.
All right, that's enough.
Copy and I'll sue.
If anything, you need to actually just do some work.
I think.
Yeah, you have way too much free time on your hands.
That's about that. The guy did that about 10 years ago.
Okay, you had way too much time on your hands. Nikki D says $2. Who would you cast to play Wolverine in the MCU?
Don't care.
Scott Eastwood.
He's too tall. Get a short, hairy actor.
Danny
buff.
DeVito.
I don't know.
Sure.
I'd start scouting from the NHL. Actually, I'm serious.
Idris Elba should be dead. Should be Wolverine.
Where do I vote?
Where do I vote?
Well, he actually come out against all this canceling of movies over racism. He just said they just need a disclaimer, which I don't necessarily agree with, but whatever. At least it's better than saying cancel everything.
They need to call up a bunch of contractors until they find one short, jacked dude that smokes. That's like all they need. He doesn't need to be able to act because he's just rude and he's gruff. Like when
He doesn't
Wolverine,
have to say much either, other than "Hey, bub, get away from her" or something.
yeah, he was drinking himself into a coma, and Kitty Pryde said, "Can I help you?" And he says, "Are you a beer?" That's Wolverine.
Sander Hammerslag says RuPaul. That's a good one. Jack Black. There you go.
Wolverine.
Schnickety schnie, bitches.
I'm just picturing the acrylic nails lengthening. Sabretooth would just feel awkward and leave.
All right, let's do this. Speaking of Deadpool, since that's a good segue, I guess, let's do the story that Rob sent me here.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Liefeld. Talk some more Deadpool. Let's see what he's got.
Deadpool creator is fine with the idea of the film franchise ending. Perhaps it's due to the great toilet paper shortage, shutting down the entire industry, including the studio's own productions, or maybe there's another reason. But it's not like Marvel Studios has stayed mum about details regarding a new Deadpool film or the future of the X-Men franchise since the studio gained control run-on sentence buddy of the properties last year. While it's clear that the X-Men franchise will live to see another day, it's less clear what the Disney-owned studio will do with a possible sequel in the foul-mouthed, very rated R Deadpool series. And according to the character's creator, Rob Liefeld, he's fine with the idea of Deadpool going away in the future. Speaking to Collider, Liefeld opened up about the possibility of a Deadpool 3. The sequel has been discussed quite a bit, even with star Ryan Reynolds, that he's talked with Marvel about moving ahead. But still, there's no word on when it might happen, and even if the Deadpool franchise can exist in a Disney-owned Marvel Cinematic Universe. Liefeld thinks the question is definitely more if and not when. You know what? There may not be another Deadpool, and I'm fine, he explained, because I have to live with the fact that I had 2 amazing experiences, 2 movies I'm extremely proud of. I love knowing everybody on those movies. I love Ryan Reynolds, Josh Brolin, Zazie Beetz, David Leitch, and Tim Miller. All of them. They did a fantabulous job.
I got my check. La la la.
Yeah, because Rob Liefeld didn't do anything with those movies.
Mm-hmm. Those movies are here.
I was just going to say, how much did he actually have to do with them? And he probably didn't know much about them until actually they were in production. And anyway, I'll say more about it after you're done.
Yeah, those movies are here to stand the test of time. You know. But in the world we live in, nothing is guaranteed, and it takes a lot to make movies. And post-quarantine, it's weird. He
basically just wants them to can the Ryan Reynolds one so that he could get a new one that he's getting the money for.
Yeah,
that's not cool.
Yeah, he does bring up the great toilet paper shortage of it all. It's assumed that Marvel Studios will soon restart production on its various TV series and blockbuster films after everything was halted due to the great toilet paper shortage. But we're not sure how filming will happen, given the new restrictions, social distancing, and whatnot. Can Deadpool or other superhero films work within this new framework? And in this case of Liefeld's creation, even if it can happen, it still has an uphill battle, given the reasons listed above. Liefeld also shared his shock about the canceled Deadpool cartoon that was written and created by Donald Glover. The series seemed destined to move ahead on FX, but the show was quickly canceled, and Glover, proofread your shit, spoke out about his unhappiness with the decision. Liefeld is also surprised by the lack of a Deadpool cartoon, especially given the character's more cartoony characteristics. What I don't really understand is given the audience, why isn't there a Deadpool cartoon yet? Like, I don't understand that, right? Deadpool's cancellation was a gut punch, he said. Wasn't that Taylor Swift's fault or something, Tom?
Sure, why not?
No, we did a story about that a while ago, remember?
I'm not.
There was like
I don't click on anything
with it.
with Taylor Swift.
Like there was some joke or other.
Yeah.
I have more to add to this when you're done reading. I think there's reasons for this.
Well, for now, the future of Deadpool, of the Deadpool film and TV brand seems to be uncertain. While he continued to set forth in previous films or Marvel Studios reboot him in the MCU, will Ryan Reynolds return in the lead role, or is the character destined to have only two films for the foreseeable future? Hopefully, we find out more news because fans are growing anxious. Tom?
All right. I think Liefeld has no fucking clue what he's talking about. I've heard rumors that he has very little to do with any decisions that are made, and he's more or less told shit after the fact. I don't know if script can verify that or not, but yeah, he gets a check, but he has no say in shit. Basically, he has very little control over the character at all.
Yeah, Marvel has no interest in what anything Rob Liefeld has to say.
Yeah, so I think he's kind of on the outside of the loop.
He's doing this just to keep himself in the conversation.
I think so. Okay, so that's the first part. The second part, we already know that Ryan Reynolds has been in talks with Disney already. That's not news. Deadpool is on Bob Iger, or at least was. I haven't looked right lately, but he was on Bob Iger's fucking Twitter banner. Okay?
Yeah.
And the other reason why I think they canceled the cartoon was because it was in production by Fox and it probably wasn't far enough into production for them to continue on. And for another reason is I think they don't want, for the specific reason that Liefeld was talking here, I don't think they want any confusion with Deadpool. I don't think that Disney wants any confusion that Deadpool is not for kids. I believe we are going to see another R-rated Deadpool movie because Bob Iger knows, and in the studio knows money when they see it. The Deadpool films have made nothing but money. Okay. And if you change the formula right now, all you're going to do is fuck it up. They had the little PG-13 test. It failed. Okay. It failed miserably. Even adding new scenes didn't help. It didn't do jack shit.
Red Savage didn't help that. Yeah,
exactly. So I guarantee you we're going to see a Deadpool 3 that's R-rated at some point in maybe not in the near future, but within the next couple of years. They're going to build up enough demand. But the one thing that Marvel and Disney are going to want to do is distance Deadpool himself from any of the family-friendly Marvel stuff. And we've already been hearing rumblings about other non-family friendly, like we just did a video about the Punisher.
That's so lame.
No, but I have a feeling we're going to get like a Marvel Knights section. I don't know if
or a Black Label type thing,
kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know if you must know what I'm talking about, script, because there's already rumors about bringing back Deadpool and Punisher already, and there's no way they'll fit in with the Disneyfied Marvel universe.
No one wants to see that. I'm a fan of these characters. No one wants this.
What do you mean? As far as like they're just going to continue on, they're not going to change anything.
They're not going to be manipulated into the Marvel Phase 4 thing.
No. Yeah, they're just going to be on their own. They're going to be
having a version of these characters that's friendly enough to have in these movies.
No, I'm saying they won't.
Or just not having them at all. Because
no, what I'm saying is the opposite,
Jesse.
Jesse. What I'm saying is the opposite. They're going to keep Deadpool separate from everything else so they can keep him R-rated. They're going to keep the Punisher and Daredevil in their own little R-rated world.
Yeah, but they shouldn't do that.
They should, because I'd rather have that than have them watered down.
Why can't they just have characters be organic to their character within a universe?
Well, that's what they're going to try and do.
That's what they're doing. Yeah,
that's what I think they're going to do, and I think that's
segregating them.
And again, this is speculation, but it's separate. Already were separate though, Jesse.
Yeah,
see what Liefeld and everybody's afraid of is they're going to drag Deadpool into the Marvel universe, and they're going to just make him into nothing but PG-13 dribble.
I'm saying, make him Ant-Man. Yeah.
What I'm saying is I think that there's no mistake here as to why that cartoon, I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I think the reason that cartoon got killed is because they don't want any confusion here as to that Deadpool is for kids at all. I don't know if script agrees with me or knows anything about the situation, but as far as I know, Deadpool 3 is still happening. So,
well, as far as I know, Deadpool 3 is still happening. I don't know when, but I do know it's still happening. I know that I think more has to do with the fact that the cartoon was ordered by Fox and it was not part of the actual acquisition. Disney canceled it because Deadpool has been in some cartoon shows. He was prominent in a couple episodes of, I think, Spider-Man and the Web Warriors, where they actually make fun of how he can't say bad words and whatnot and how it frustrates Deadpool. It was actually pretty cleverly done for the character. But I think and I hope that Disney does do the smart thing by keeping Deadpool in the rating system that he is, and basically they can play it in a singular direction, meaning that other Marvel characters can appear in a Deadpool movie, but Deadpool's not going to be appearing in a normal Marvel movie. And that's probably the best tactic they can have in order to keep Deadpool more in line with the previous films instead of watering him down.
That would have the connection there.
What I think they'll do though, they'll keep going with that joke that he's outside of it. Like, you know how in the first two movies, like they kept having the joke that he was like not included in the real X-Men, and they had like, them shut the door on him in the second movie and that kind of shit. They'll keep doing that, but they'll just switch it over to like the MCU. So we'll have like 5 jokes where like, in the next room, like Iron Man and somebody else is doing something or whatever, not necessarily Iron Man, but you know what I mean? It'll be like, and then he'll like get shoved out of the room or something. Like it'll be some kind of joke and they'll be like, oh, I'm not good enough for Disney or something like that or whatever.
I honestly hope they don't do that again because I want to say I'd like to see these characters together. I just want to see Iron Man and Deadpool talking shit to each other. Is that too much to ask?
Well, Iron Man's dead. Yeah. Iron Man's dead already for one problem, and second of all,
so use the time machine again.
And that doesn't mean you can't necessarily. That's the best part about Deadpool is since he breaks the fourth wall, is you can almost like kind of what script was saying is I almost see this like an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing into a way to where you can pull anything you want out of the MCU into Deadpool. But Deadpool cannot affect the MCU. So like anything that happens in the Deadpool movies can't overall affect anything going forward in the MCU. But you can have all the fun you want other than that.
That's going to be Punisher.
But Punisher is a character that just doesn't fit inside. It's never been established within the MCU necessarily anyway. Same thing with all those Netflix shows were created in a way that they were adjacent so they could always be cut. You know what I mean? Like they knew that there was always this possibility that they were never going to be part of the MCU proper. So that's why they had no problems going with the extra violence and all that shit. But again, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they exist in the same universe and you can have shit cross over, but nothing they do in those shows will ever affect anything on the big screen. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And they're gonna kind of carry that over, but it's just going to be on Hulu now or wherever they decide to do it. And the rumor is they're going to bring back the same guy to play Punisher and Daredevil, and I'm sure they'll probably bring back Jessica Jones and the rest of them too. But it'll just be time over time, and it'll just be kind of its own universe. And I would have expected Blade to be in this, but I can see Blade being able to be kind of manipulated into a PG-13 world because it's vampires. Like, you could probably release the first Blade today, and as long as you cut out any F words, you could probably get by with a PG-13 easy.
And vampire BJs.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, in the very slight cuts, you could probably get away with it. You know, I could see Blade still, and what I heard from my inside sources, they're going to go as hardcore PG-13 with Blade as they can.
Yeah, they could probably just incorporate some Buffy the Vampire Slayer elements with the dusting or what have you in order to mitigate any sort of blood.
Yeah, you just got to kind of get away with the excessive blood. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Should we?
There is a brilliant opportunity for Marvel to do with Deadpool right here, and it actually comes as a funny byproduct. If they got Ryan Reynolds to do a Deadpool YouTube channel and have it literally be a parody of whatever video Brie Larson releases, like a shot-for-shot type of parody of, and Ryan Reynolds just makes his
they wouldn't
funny
let him
quips
do
and
that,
stuff.
Though.
I know they wouldn't let him
unless
do
it was in good humor, but yeah,
it would be one heck of a good long-term marketing strategy to build up for a third Deadpool film.
Techman Blade says bring back Vincent as Kingpin. Well, that would be the whole point, was to be able to bring back, because he's even hinted that not to necessarily count him out. So that's the other.
Thomas Jane as the Punisher. I know that's never going to happen again.
He was never my favorite.
I thought he was good in the role.
I mean, he was all right, but he was just. I just don't think he was that great.
He didn't have much to do in his movie, oddly enough. That's I think the thing. He was silent, stoic.
Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What am I looking
well,
for?
Mecha found something on Twitter from Shadow Man.
I'm not seeing it. So you're just
article.
Hold on.
Are you talking about the Bounding article?
No. Hold on. Let me put in the meet chat. Hold on.
I was gonna say because I'm not
in the Twitter.
I don't Twitter good.
Well, there.
I'm not on Twitter at all anymore.
I don't Twitter too good, and
because they kicked you off 10 times.
And Jesse just gets kicked off, so he's obviously doing it way wrong. Again.
He's a little bit more blunt than I'm sarcastic, so I mean I even get banned on my own sarcastic fucking tweets though. But.
So yeah, anyway, let's move on from Deadpool anyway, because I think we kind of beat that to death. So, more Star Trek news, just what we needed. What is this daily Star Trek? There's daily Star Trek news. Like there's literally enough Star Trek news to necessitate a daily forum.
No,
they're
not really enough and in the news cycle.
Investors.
This is dumb.
It is.
I'll take another.
In active development. That means that fucking Kurtzman thought about it while he was taking his shit.
He's on the bowl. He's on the bowl. What can I do for season 4?
I'm developing season 4.
Yeah, on what network? Where the
plop?
Film it.
Strangely
exactly,
plausible.
You're getting the metaphor.
Plop. I just plopped out season 4.
Oh!
Yeah, but they're talking about something that was published in January when the unions were still active.
Yeah, you were talking about that before the show.
What is
script that the unions are just all up in arms right now, or something or other?
What now?
Well,
Script. Explain that. IATSE Toronto. What is that?
IATSE's a crew union.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
so
saying.
in
Go
Canada
ahead.
they have IATSE and TAMEC, and you kind of want to make sure that your production qualifies for both of those, because it just means that number one, hours and wages are going to be respectful. You're not going to be driven, run ragged. And 2, royalties and all that other stuff, they co-op with ACTRA and SAG-AFTRA and all those companies to make sure that everyone gets paid properly for the work they do, and they get their royalties for any sort of distribution.
Okay.
But IATSE stuff, they can file anything. You can file anything with the unions, even if you don't have a green light from the studio, because you're just kind of getting your ducks in a row there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even prove anything because it still comes down to the studio to say yes, you're going to go ahead and do it. Like,
I know this Allison Pitt. I've seen this chick before. This just proves one thing: they're desperate as fuck. You know who that is, don't you, Mecca?
I think so.
I've seen her before.
Wasn't she at Lost Star Trek Las Vegas?
Probably.
Oh, yeah, she's appeared on panels of Star Trek Las Vegas, WonderCon, San Diego Comic-Con.
One of these little star fuckers. I mean, dingleberries or whatever.
We are Starfleet.
Yeah, one of these marketing global franchise group people, marketing people.
Paid fans.
Yeah,
that's sad.
Next Generation's Colliders.
It's sad,
not only that, the entire IATSE contract could have been done for the reshoots in February because it was filed in January.
Yeah, when they reshot the finale for 33 days.
Oh, I can prove that. I can actually. Here you go. According to Jonathan Frakes, February 24th says that's a wrap.
Yeah, I remember.
Bookmark.
So yeah, that would be, if they file this in early January, which most likely the case, like the January 4th or 5th. By all the paperwork going through, and then the go-ahead from the studio, you could do a month and something and get everything all wrapped up. And they just might have called it a season 4 thing.
days.
So that's a new contract that's not part of the original season 3 contract.
February 24th minus 33 days would put you at the end of January.
So I think we got to the bottom of that.
I love it when they try to do something funky like that to try and be like, oh, but see, season 4 is coming. Hey, Ords, how you doing?
Movies in less time than that.
I know, right? That is literally the schedule for most general movies. Now, granted, a Marvel movie, a Star Wars movie, well, if it's directed by J.J. Abrams, takes 2 years to shoot.
They're still shooting it, right?
Yeah, they're still shooting it as we speak.
Well, you get up around noon, you got to do a bunch of drugs, and you got to write the scene you're about to shoot in like 5 minutes, so you better fucking get something on the paper.
Just look at that smug, condescending look Michael Burnham has, though. I mean,
that's typical. Now, Jesse, are you insinuating that JJ actually does drugs? Because if that was true, then his movies would be infinitely more entertaining.
Yeah,
I think he needs to do some drugs.
No junk, no funk, man.
He is so fucking straight edge, it makes me fucking cringe, man.
He's getting high on that soy latte.
And getting high off his own fucking farts. But yeah, smug fucking Michael Burnham here. I love it when these...
There really is nothing worse than somebody who's smug, because you just want to slap the shit out.
I'm smug as shit, though.
No, you're a smart ass. Smug is
that's true.
Pricks you just want to strangle. You're just want to... Sorry about my coffee machine.
Is that what that is? Okay, I heard that earlier too.
Oh, it's delicious.
Is it? Good for you. I don't like coffee.
Likewise.
It's hot bean juice made by gods.
I'm a slave to the bean.
Is this bean juice? Human bean juice.
What does that even mean?
I know. There's some lines in fucking Watchmen that are just kind of like, huh? But then again, it's Rorschach, so you just kind of go with it.
Oh God! But
yeah, JJ needs to start smelling weed instead of his own farts. Definitely.
I got some weed called member berries, and South Park had to go to JJ to get member berries.
He's high now.
I always just thought that it all went together.
He's high now.
The Star Wars High Republic.
I'm still waiting for Rob to do that newscaster commentary on the Star Wars Star Wars films and Last Jedi. That would be.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. Really, I am.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be like breaking news from the Galactic News Network, GNN. Yeah.
The slowest chase in the galaxy.
I'm a slave to the bean. That's what she said. DCB Titan sends $2.
The rebels are engaged in a slow speed chase with the Empire.
The human bean?
This is the slowest speed chase I've ever seen before.
We are hearing through Admiral Hodo that Princess Leia did not kill her husband Han Solo. and she wants to see her fish.
They're fighting over custody of the dog.
In the Bronco class cruiser.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, at the end, he goes. This lone rebel is taking upon himself to sacrifice himself for his comrades. His sacrifice will never be. And out of nowhere, and for no reason, another ship comes in and completely ruins his sacrifice. Oh my God! Why would she do this? She's just condemned her comrades to death.
I accidentally missed this one earlier. Dex Luther sent in a Canadian $5. Says they can give Deadpool to the Japanese. Make one of them weird act up anime out of it.
Oh God!
Well, it depends on their right. They might be able to do it without even asking. Now, I don't know if they can or not. I don't know if I'd be into that or not.
We got to find the Japanese Spider-Man show.
Yeah, that one's. I thought that was already available. I thought somebody said that was coming out on DVD or something. I thought it was even Robert Meyer Burnett or something who said that. I don't know. I can't remember now.
Fucking, I'm saying it. In the Japanese Spider-Man, does he just stand around spraying Black Cat in the face with a whole bunch of webbing until the show's over?
I don't think there is a Black Cat in the Japanese Spider-Man.
Really?
I don't know. I like those other ones, like the Bollywood ones and some of the other ones where you got like the Superman and Spider-Woman, and then you got
what?
Yeah, you haven't seen that one? It's like
there's a lot of Turkish remakes of.
Or is that Turkish? I'm sorry.
There's if it's Turkish Spider-Man, Batman.
That's
Wonder
it.
Woman,
Maybe.
Supergirl,
And then they did also a Nightmare on Elm Street.
There's also like Turkish Star Wars.
Okay.
And Turkish Star Wars is fucked up too.
Yeah, it is.
Does everyone just like stop and start dancing?
And then DCB Titan says, "Can Japanese do Deadpool? Look up Hentai Cayman." I don't know if I want to.
No, I don't want to look.
I probably have the FBI.
Oh, the whole Turkish Star Wars movie is on YouTube.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
but it's got scenes of the original Star Wars. That's the only problem.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
So I don't know if we could get away with showing it or not.
Probably not, but still, okay.
If we could figure out and remember where the I haven't seen the whole thing. I'd only seen bits and pieces of it. We'd have to watch it and see if wherever the scenes are from the original Star Wars, and maybe just like kind of cut away when that's up.
Why, they just used all the space scenes?
Yeah, they just cut in scenes and shit from Star Wars. They made their own movie out of it. Like fucking Americans, we'll make our own, but we'll use this shit. So like, isn't it like, and he's like, it cuts from like, outside shots of some stuff from Star Wars, and then it's like inside, and you got like this guy in this makeshift like fucking cockpit looking thing, and it's really fucking
doesn't match up with the X-wing cockpit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's really bad. Is there like a trailer, Rob? Can we show
the cardboard falls down?
I don't. Let me see. Hold on. Turkish Star Wars trailer.
Any Star Wars news? Yeah, they ruined the franchise, and then they tried to beg the fans back with
Bad Batch cartoon.
Yeah, and some show about
Gremlins 3, The Bad Batch,
Boba Fett, and a puppet.
Yeah, there's. I don't know if this is a fan-made trailer.
I don't care as long as it's just like some scenes cut together to where we're not showing the whole fucking movie or waiting 20 minutes for something to happen.
All right. Well, here.
I'll take you guys' word for it on the Hentai Cayman, and I'll look it up after the show, but I'm not gonna do it. No offense, but I can't trust it to be.
Tom's gonna be like, "What the hell are these sickos having me look
exactly, up? Yeah, that'd be my worry. He'd be like, "Oh, wow,
whoa." I thought I saw some stuff, but apparently not.
All right, I gotta turn my other thing on and turn my mic off so I can hear this. Fucking, I gotta figure out what's going on with the audio on this bitch.
At a time when few Western films made it into the country, Turkish filmmakers came up with a daring plan. With only 3 cameras and a truck full of fuzzy costumes, they would attempt to remake the most ambitious science fiction movie ever attempted. 30 years later,
awesome.
Film Music recovers this film from the vault to release the first English version. This October, Film Music welcomes you to the dark side of Turkish cinema. Then we are staying. The battle of dark forces has started.
You are humans. You cannot resist your feelings and conscience.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Are the only true expression of the mortal human is love, is hope. Celebrating their release with a special live performance, creating all the sound for the film live on stage at the Hollywood Theater. Turkish Star Wars.
Oh God.
Obviously a classic.
This October, the Ottoman Empire strikes back.
They already struck back. It was on the tick. The world's most comfortable chair.
DCB Titans. I'm gonna regret this, aren't I? All right, I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah, I don't want to risk it, actually.
I
And you probably don't want to.
So you guys talk. I'm not gonna play it.
yeah, tentacle porn.
Let's go down to the lobby.
Yeah, let's go. Da, 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 dim.
Not do the theme from the Benny Hill show.
No.
If you're gonna play an annoying instrument, then fucking play at least like fucking
What?
the gonk or something.
Gonk? The gonk?
Yeah, it's basically the Robot Chicken theme.
Oh, okay.
I'm not showing this shit.
How bad is it?
I don't know, but a bunch of schoolgirl shit comes up first.
Yeah, hentai is just gonna be Japanese porn. Don't show it.
Or do.
What about Turkish Superman?
Turkish Superman. Is that some kind of sexual position?
Let alone the one from Turkey.
There's a Turkish language version of the trailer from 2007 that somebody put up, but it's got some original music. It's got original Star Wars music in it. So
yeah, the things like "For the Sake of the World, Give Me Your Panties." Sorry, guy, I'm not showing. Nope. Sorry.
Not happening.
Love you, but nope.
Turkish Superman.
All right, folks. I think we should call this a day.
Yeah.
Good God.
So we get homework: Turkish Star Wars and Turkish Superman.
Yeah.
You have fun with that. I just watch. I'll take the Cliff's Notes version and I'll just watch the Cinema Snobs review again.
Yeah. And if you enjoyed Mecca's rant from earlier, I believe she's about to do a video on that Star Trek article. So
yeah. Throwing in the green screen's coming out. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you got a green screen now, huh?
Oh, Bob.
Yeah, I use it on special occasions because it makes it like 5,000 degrees in my office.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because like, well, Rob's seen my computer setup where I've got like 2 giant monitors and then
A desk, yeah, and the lights got. Thing is, the lighting. It's got to be
the lights, yeah.
All right, let's wrap this puppy up so we can.
Speaking of puppies.
Oh, he's so cute. He's anti-Fenton.
Anything he wants.
He's anti-Fenton. All right, we don't have the music up, so. He didn't play.
I need to get one of those with Rob's head on there too.
With the shaky thing in it or the slide whistle.
And we got the
I gotta put a better sound effect over that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bruce Lee. Wow. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
Just when you think this show is terrible, something wonderful happens.
What?
It ends.